Good morning, everybody. My name is Gary. We're going to play some ukulele today. I am so far not very prepared for my class, and so I'm. In the meantime, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go post our link on the website, jollyrogerukulele.com. You'll find all of our sheet music and good, cool stuff on that page. So why don't you swing by there and pick it up? Control V, and then you have to roll back up. It's so dumb. And then you highlight it, link, and then you click link, and then you hit enter, and then you hit edit, and then you hit settings, and then you hit open a new window, you hit update, and then you hit update again. You wait for it to reload, and then you think to yourself, where is my sheet music for today? And I don't see it sitting on my desk anywhere, which is a concern. All right, so I don't have my sheet music for today. So in a moment, Bridget, you're here. Hey, Bridget, I left my sheet music thingamabopper in the other room. So you're in charge for a minute while I run and go get that. People wondering, they'll be like, what's the heck is going on? Will you guys talk amongst yourself until I find my sheet music? All right. Sorry, everybody. I thought I was a little better prepared than I am. Well, I guess I don't ever think I'm prepared. That's why I'm such a psycho most of the time. Trying to be prepared. Donna, welcome in. Thank you, Bridget. How did Bridget do? Did she get real bossy and try to change the rules? Hey, Nancy, welcome in. All right. Hola, Evelyn. 73 degrees. You just heard thunder and lightning, so you got a little bit of rain going on, headed your way down in Cuenca. We're kind of chilly here today. I think I don't really know what the temperature is outside, but it's surprisingly cold. Let me see. Let's see what Google says the temperature is outside. 63. So kind of having a coolish day, not particularly terribly cold, but just a little bit annoyingly chilly. I got my little space heater on here, and it. You guys probably can hear the air blowing. Hey, today we got to dig in. We got kind of a busy day for this class, and so let me give you a quick overview. This week, we are going to be playing, for those of you in Book 2, Las Mañanitas, which is the Happy Birthday song, or it feels like more of a get out of bed song. So it's a really beautiful song. That's for Book 2. And also I got, we're going to be doing 5'2", which is one of those pieces that I have memorized that I just think is adorable. And it's out of the Tin Pan Alley era, and a lovely, fun song to play. Really sets up nicely on ukulele. So that's for those of you guys in Book 2. For those of you guys in Book 1 that are still getting your chops up, the Jumping Flea Arpeggio, I got to give you a very brief sales pitch for this. This is the piece of music, the key of C arpeggio, is out of my book called The Jumping Flea Arpeggiator. And it was one of the things that I feel like I created back in the day that has turned out to be a surprisingly great piece of addition to the ukulele world. and not enough people understand what it does. But basically, what it does is that book, which is free on the website, will take you through every single possible chord shape, every single place on the fretboard, all of your chords, all of your shapes, and so that you will really come to master the ukulele. More importantly, it actually trains your right hand to do what I think is just about every possible thing that it will ever have to do. And so the book, by the time you've taken your time to go through it a couple of times, you will be an outstanding player. You will honestly be almost certainly the best ukulele player in your city. um, the people that I know that have gone with me through the entire book are really, really fine players at this point. And more than that, they're also just really understand music theory. They understand how music works once they've been through the whole thing. And so we start today with the key of C, which is the first one in the book. But of course, there's lots in there. And the one thing I will mention that I did stupid, which I will fix if I ever do a second edition of this. Um, in the back of the book, on the very last page of the full Jumping Flea Arpeggiator, there's a suggested learning sequence. You should follow that sequence, not play them in order that they're in the book, because unfortunately I outsmarted myself, and I thought I will put these in here based on the key rotating around the key of C down each side, which from a music theory perspective made some sense, but from a playability perspective it made no sense whatsoever. And so the suggested learning sequence in the back of the book is the one you want to follow. um, I, I think once you've done a couple of these, you understand the basic principle of it, and you should be able to work yours at your own pace through the rest of the book. It's an important piece of literary effort there. I wrote it for myself to teach myself how to play ukulele, and it turns out it's still, I haven't found anything that comes close to touching it in terms of helping students learn how to run both hands effectively throughout the entire um, range of keys, chords, notes, shapes, right hands, various things, all of that stuff. So again, I encourage you to have the entire book printed out, or you don't even need to really print it out. Just have it on your computer, and then pick one each week to work on. That's what I do here locally with our ukulele orchestra. Is every week we play one, and we only play the first 10 because the other keys you're less likely to ever play in. And so I want my local orchestra here to be good at playing in all of those keys that they're likely to encounter, which is the first 10 on the suggested learning sequence. So Q, it's actually right on the, actually, if you go to the advanced group, um, today, right under John Denver. It says Jumping Flea Arpeggiator in A minor, page 4. The book is here, so you can get it right underneath John Denver, the Jumping Flea Arpeggiator, there on the front page. And it's like I say, everybody ought to have that downloaded. All right, let's see who else snuck in here. Let's see. Q, you're awesome. Thanks. Oh my God, Gary. Nancy wants to know what 5'2" is because I'm mad at you. That's funny. No, you're gonna love playing it. It's not. It's not as bad as you think. Well, it might be. Hey, Linda, welcome in. Melissa, Lynn, good to see you. All right, Uke Noob wanders in. Down there in Buenos Aires, they just come and go as they please. So, key of C arpeggio. Let's talk about it. Measure 1. Key of C major. It says hold a C chord, right? Now, you could play it with thumb, 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 but no, you are not allowed to do that, okay? I want you to take thumb, index, middle, get your claw on. You're going to do thumb for the 0, index for the next 0, middle for the 3, and then go back to your index. Thumb, index, middle, So take a minute and just have your hands do that pattern. Thumb, index, middle, index, 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 thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, index. Okay, so that's all you're doing in that first measure is thumb, index, middle. And the reason you want to play with this claw shape rather than just straight thumb is it's going to make you faster. It's going to make life much easier. It's going to give you ability to create different textures in your music rather than just a thumb texture. And this is going to be an extremely valuable tool down the road. Okay, measure 2, you're going to hold a G chord. Grab your G chord. And by the way, throughout the entire book, all 60 some pages of it, you're going to grab the chord in every single measure and then see what else you have to do. Sometimes you'll add a finger, take off a finger, just like we've been doing with Yankee Doodle and all that stuff. Okay. Measure 2, you're holding a G chord. Now notice that the numbers say 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and you're already holding them all down just by holding the chord. And so you're going to go thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. Measure 3, you'll notice the tablature says 0, 1, 0, but the chord is an F chord. So then the question comes up, do I really have to hold my middle finger down? You don't have to, but you should, okay? Because you're in the process right now, early on in your career, of getting where all of the chords jump on and by feel, and you want to be able to be, by the way, I'm just looking here thinking, good God, Gary, you have got to go shave. Holy Moses. I apologize. I look like an axe murderer. Grab the full chord, because when you're busy doing your arpeggio pattern here, this string's vibrating as well. Even though you're not touching it, it's making some noise. And if you don't have this down, well, now it's going to vibrate as a G note, which doesn't sound good. But if you're holding it down, it vibrates as an A note, and that sounds just fine in A. So grab the full chord. Okay, so measure 3, grab your full chord, and now I'm going to play 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. But we're going to play it thumb, index, middle, index, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, just do that a few times. So by now you've trained your right hand to do this pattern. And you already know on your left hand, you're just going to grab those chords. Okay, so measure 4, go grab your G chord. Play the pattern for a little while. Okay, beautiful. Okay, now book measure 5 is we go measures 5 through 8 are almost identical to measures 1 through 4. So let's go ahead and play 5 through 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and oh, oh, 3, oh, oh. Change to your G chord. Change to your F chord. G chord. Now notice the last note, you're going to stop on your middle finger. Okay, that's it. So let's play 1 through 8. That's the idea. Play it basically that speed. It's supposed to be almost twice that fast. Doesn't matter, right? When you're first starting a song, playing in half speed is fine. You should do that. From the top, 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Measure 5. Okay, measure 9, you're going to grab your C chord, but now we're going to pluck those 3 strings together, 0, 0, 3, and then we're going to play a thumb, index, middle. Now you're going to go to an F chord at measure 10. Same thing, pluck and then 3 fingers. Thumb, index, middle. Then G7, pluck that. Thumb, index, middle. Do it again. Measure 13, we're going to change the pattern. We're going to plunk, and then we're going to do middle, index, thumb. And then in measure 14, grab your A minor. It says all zeros, but you want to grab the full chord anyway. F in measure 15. Middle, index, thumb, and G7 in measure 16. 17, C chord, plunk twice, thumb, index. 18, grab your A minor, plunk twice, thumb, index, F chord, okay. Bottom of measure 20, you see the 2 heavy bars with the 2 dots. That's a repeat. It's a backward repeat. You look all the way back through the music. There are no forward repeats, so that means you go back to the top of the page. Let's play from the top of the page, the entire thing down to 20, and then we'll talk. Okay, so from 1 to the bottom, top of the page to the bottom of the page. 1, 2, 3, 4. G chord. F chord. G chord. C chord. Measure 6 is a G chord. Measure 7, F. 8 is a G. Plunks. F. 17. Again in 12. 13. Middle index, thumb. Okay, that's the end. So remember, when we play it on Friday, we'll play through it 2 times through. Page 2, it says a C chord. Then underneath that, it says written. That means slow it down a little bit. Okay, just suddenly slow it down right there. Slow. Okay, we're not going to decrease in tempo the whole way through. We're just going to slow it down a little bit there and play from there. And then you see the wiggly sign. It says 0003 with a wiggly. That's that glissando that we saw in My Spaghetti Monster. That's how we play that. So all through the first page, we've been playing basically thumb, index, middle. That's the only thing we've plucked. Now we're going to use our thumb and play this. And through measures 21 through 28, it's all really meant as a thumb. There's no discernible pattern necessarily. So when you don't necessarily see a discernible, clearly obvious pattern, you can choose between playing an arpeggio pattern or a claw shape versus just using your thumb. In this case, I meant it as a thumb exercise, 21 through 28. So that's how we'll play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum 3, 5, 3. Put your G chord on. Strum, and then hit the 3 again. F chord is a strum with a rest stroke. 1, 3, oh, and then a nice G7. 2, 3, 4. Hit a couple zeros. G chord, rest stroke on one, lift up your ring finger, F chord, two little F chords, play the three, and then G7. 2, 3, 4. Now when measure 29, it says a tempo. That means pick up the pace a little bit. Grab your C chord. I'm going to go back to these three strings, and let's play from there. 29. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor, middle, index, thumb, F, middle, index, thumb, G7, middle, index, thumb, C, C, thumb, index, A minor, thumb, index, F, thumb, index, G7, and then a big C strum at the end, and that's how we finish it. Okay, this is one of the harder chant pieces that you have to deal with in an intro to ukulele, but we have two others, right? We have an F chord and key of F and key of G, and you will be practicing through all of those. Once you kind of have been through key of C a few times, it should start to come together in terms of, man, there's a lot of notes here, but it's really built around patterns, and all of ukulele, all of guitar, all of fretted instrument playing is built around patterns on the fretboard to make your life easier, and so that's that. Q asks, why do you play with your thumb on the third string? Why don't you use the fourth string at all? Well, lots of reasons. Okay, so think about this. If I got 4 fingers, I got 4 strings, doesn't it make sense just to do this? Thumb, index, middle, ring, and just play everything that way? Wouldn't that make the most sense? That would make the most sense. That would make a lot of sense. Let's just do thumb, index, middle, ring. Except there's one thing that means it's not very sensible. I'm going to get up close here. Thumb, index, middle, ring. Everybody's got its own string. Everybody's happy, right? Except now what you have found out is this top string we never use it for melody. Never. And it's only used occasionally for harmony. So we've now got what is our most important finger, the thumb, on the least important string. Okay. The other problem with this idea is the first string gets used continuously for melody. It is the most important string on your ukulele, and I've now put my dumbest finger on that, right? Okay, so that's why I don't do it, and that's why you should not think that when you're plucking, you're always going to grab all 4 strings. Anytime we have a chance to put thumb, index, middle, that's what we want, because our middle finger is all so much more capable. It can live its own life, right? If I'm moving him around, you notice my ring finger has a tendency to jump around sympathetically with that. And if I'm trying to use my ring finger, nothing is going to go well. Everybody's going to be helping the ring finger out. But my middle finger, he can live his own life. He's been used to do that his whole time. And these 3 guys, we would really, really prefer using them as often as possible. So I don't grab it this way. Now, is it against the law? No. Will you be doing it? Yes. Is it something that's helpful? Yes. But this is probably, at least in this song for sure, makes a lot more sense since we're not playing anything on this top string through the whole first page. There's no reason to grab 4. It's much more effective to grab 3. And plenty of places in my book, there will be times when we're doing just 2 outsides, insides, sometimes odds and evens, sometimes inners and outers. Did I already do that? Inners and outers. You will be doing this type of pattern. You'll be doing this type of pattern. You'll be doing 3 on the top and sometimes 3 on the bottom. Okay, so you'll be doing all of those different choices. So yeah, is this a legitimate choice? Yeah. Is it the best choice? Not for this song, okay, and not for most songs. Most songs we're going to play here because this string ends up being used for harmonies and decorations and sorts of things. It's not necessary. It's very rarely. There's a couple of styles of music where we use it heavily, but for the most part, we don't use this string other than to add into a chord. So that's why I'm only doing that. Could you do it this way? Yeah. Is it great? No. Okay. So yeah. All right. That's great. Great question, Cube. All right. So on Friday, we're going to play through this song all the way. I want you to practice on this song every day. Okay. And I want you to play one song out of the key of the jumping flea arpeggiator each day for the rest of your ukulele career. What it's going to do is warm up your right hand and warm up your left hand. It's going to get your brain smarter. You're going to figure out C, A minor, F, G, and G7 go together. Great, right? Those are great chords. We should put those in every song. And then you're going to find out in ukulele, every song has C, F, G, A minor, and G7 in it. And there's a reason why, and that goes directly to your circle of fifths. Those of you guys who are in book 2 are starting to figure this out. Okay. All right. Next thing then. So that's your book 1 song of the week. And like Frere Jacques, hold on, I just made a boo-boo. Key. I just goofed this up. Key of C, key. How come that happened like that? Key of C, arpeggio. Update. Like Frere Jacques, this song here is pretty high on my list of songs that are really important for you to get your head around. We need to get you playing in this claw position. Most ukulele players, when they get their ukulele, they might learn strumming with their thumb, and they might learn strumming with their index finger. But for the most part, that ends up being the only thing they ever talk about. And when we go to the claw position, we just simply get into this higher realm of thinking where every note matters. That is, every string matters, every note matters. We're going to put them together, and sometimes in plucking them, sometimes in arpeggiating, sometimes in rolling a chord. So there's lots of different things that happen when we start moving into our claw position. And recently Eddie Van Halen, let's put it that way, great guitarists of all time. When he died, I was watching a bunch of videos with him, and he'll use his pick, he'll use his thumb, he'll use claw position, and that's high level rock and roll, right? That's heavy metal stuff. He's doing that. If he's doing it, you should do it. Every single classical guitar player on our planet plays in claw position most of the time, and so that should send you the message, hey, this is important. Let's study it a little bit. Okay, so key of C major. We'll move on from there. That's a hard song for you when you first run into it, but it's also an important song, and so let's keep at that one. Then the other 2 songs today, I want to run through them real quick. Las Mañanitas. Let's go grab that one. One of my favorite tunes ever, I think. It's just beautiful. Okay. And again, those of you guys who are in book 2, I make some basic assumptions that you are reading chords okay, that you're playing melody okay, and that it's really just continuing to work on tough uke is probably where your head is. Now, I do not know any Spanish. I grew up in Colorado. A significant portion of our population here speaks Spanish, and I know almost nothing about Spanish, which is sort of sad. I'm better with French. I did take 4 semesters, 2 years of French. So my French, I can get crossword puzzles done. Let's put it that way. But my Spanish is terrible. So what I did is I rewrote the words in English, and so they're pretty darn close, and they're actually fairly singable. But if you are a singer, you can knock yourself out on that. I won't hurt your ears with it. Big thing is to double check, your chords. Do you know G chord? Do you know D7 and how to get there? Just roll up here. Okay, of course. Okay, back to G chord. Measure 4, is there C chord? Back to G chord. Back to D7. And then you got a fast one. You got 3 chords in one measure. G, C, D7, G. Okay, so be ready for that. Shows up twice in the song, and that's 1 chord per beat. So if you're playing the song too fast, you're going to end up having troubles through there, right? Measure 9, D7, back to G, D7, back to G, measure 13, C, back to G, and then that 3 chord pattern again is actually 4 chords in a row for 1 beat each at measure 15. G, C, D, G. Okay, so if you are like to sing and the song makes sense to you, um, that's a fun activity to do. In this case, you get 2 ukulele players together. One of you plays melody, one of you plays chords. Everything's going great with the chord player until he gets to that spot, and then now he's got his work cut out for him, right? Let's play the melody. Some of you may not know this tune. Let's play down. Let's just one time through. When we get to 16, skip number 16 and go to 17. 1, 2. Isn't that beautiful? It's just a beautiful, beautiful tune. Okay, so there's your melody. I made one mistake, but other than that, just really pleasant. Read through it. What you're going to want to do, especially if you don't know the tune, be mindful. Here's you hit a 3 note, double peek up at the standard notation. If it's an eighth note, quarter note, dotted quarter note, right? That'll tell you the standard notation is there to help you. So now let's run through the tough uke real quick. 1, 2, 2, 2, strum, 3, 2, 3, strum, 2, 3, oh, strum, 3, oh, 2, strum, 3, 3, strum, oh, 3, 2, strum, 3, 2, 3, oh, strum. Strum, 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 2, strum, 2, 2, 3, oh, strum, 3, 2, strum, 2, 2, 3, oh, strum, through 3, strum, 3, 5, 3, strum, 3, 2, 3, oh, strum, 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 and then you're supposed to repeat. Go back at the end of 16, 2, 2, and then repeat up to the top. The second time you come through, you don't play that major 16. You play strum, 2, 3, and then on your paper says. Then put a regular G chord on there. If you want to put 7, 7, 7, 10 on the end, sounds a little prettier. Okay. So there we go. Despite the last name, I don't speak it either. It's amazing. When I was in New Mexico, we lived in New Mexico for some years because my wife is from there, and I thought I could tolerate it, but we're back in Colorado now. But it is incredible the number of people in New Mexico who don't speak Spanish, and you're just like, it's about. It should be the minority language, English, in New Mexico, but it's not. Yeah, so never just assume if someone's named Hernandez, Garcia, these types of names where we think, oh, they're Hispanic. Maybe not, right? Maybe they know Spanish, maybe they don't. My neighbor, who's German, 93 years old, down the hall from me, she speaks Spanish like nobody's business. She actually watches Spanish television all the time. She likes it. She says, she has a heavy German accent. I really like the drama and the Spanish culture and the Spanish television. And it's funny. All right, so beautiful piece of music. Mess around with that one. If you don't know the tune, obviously go to the website go over there and check on the right-hand side, the MP3 player. All of the songs are over there so that you can go listen to them a few times and hear what's actually on the paper. And most of the time when I do that, I play it through 2 or 3 times. I usually play it one time through just to listen to the song, and then I usually play it another time or two through while I'm reading the sheet music, trying to get a sense of how my hands are going to have to be moving and what's important in the song. And then usually I like to wrap it up by trying to sing the lyrics along with it. Oh, these are the Mañanitas David sang to all the girls. Pretty girls, he sang unto them, and now we sing them to you. Right? And so I like to go through and sing. Even though I can't sing, it gives me a sense of how I'm going to attack the piece. And I do think those MP3s on the website can really help you out a ton. Oh, Nick Jr. has it? Oh, that's cool, right? So that you can go on there and learn some Spanish. Remember on Sesame Street, they used to teach us a tiny bit of Spanish even when we were kids. And, you still wouldn't know your uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez, right? Because that's from Sesame Street, which is exciting, and hopefully we continue to do more with that. All right, that's Las Mañanitas. And then very quickly, before I let you out of here, 5'2". It's not meant to punish you. It's actually, there's a handful of things you got to do. It is a more advanced piece of music, obviously. But it is really probably written on an ukulele. When I arranged this and I realized how well it fits onto the ukulele, it's like, oh, they probably wrote this on a ukulele. A lot of times you can tell when something's written on a piano, it doesn't fit onto this very well. So 5'2", let's go through just certain sections. So first, start with your F chord, okay? You're going to play this little intro, 3, 2, 1, and then you're grabbing that F chord, you're going to strum that, and then add your pinky, and then take it off. Okay. Next, you're going to grab your A7, and you're going to strum and then add your pinky and strum again. Okay, not too bad so far. Measure 3, you're going to do the D7, same idea. Play the D7, add your pinky, take it off, add it on, take it off, take it on, put it on one last time. Measure 5 is where things look nasty, but they're not terrible. It's your high G7, 5, 5, 7. Now you're going to make this G. This is your normal G7, right? This is the one we learn on day 2, day whatever. This is the other G7. Both of these G7s are coming up a lot in your life. So this is the one G7, but even on your paper here, I gave you the other G7. So that's that G7. Okay, and you can play that 4 times. Measure 6, regular C chord. Measure 6.5, you put your 1 up here and your 5 out there. That's a little bit of a stretch for some of you guys. 1 here and 5 here. You hear that? It's just designed to create this moment of tension. And then right back to your F chord at measure 7. Okay. So strum through that a little bit. Then you go measure 8. You go right back. 3, 2, 1. And then let's play 1 through 7. High G7. C chord. 1 and 5, F chord. Okay, now the cool part about this song, once you learn section 1, you've also learned section 2 and section 4. So now all you have to do is study section 3, which starts at measure 9. Okay, so it's 3, 5, 7. I recommend 3, 5, 7. You want to have your pinky end up on 7 at the end. So either 3, middle, pinky, or 3, ring pinky. That's ideal. Done, done, done. Because the next motion you're going to have to make is this motion. We'll talk about that. Okay, so 3, 5, 7. Now leave that finger on 7. Measure 10 has a new A7. Okay, for those of you guys who are new, this is A7. Okay, for those of you guys who've been around a little while, this A7 is going to come up more than you wish it would. Index finger on 5, middle finger on 6 at the top, ring finger on 7 of the third string, pinky finger never moved, it was always on 7 of the first string. Okay, so that's the shape you're looking at. Okay, and what is that? It's an E7. All it is, E7 bar, which in this case is one note, is on 5. Okay? Okay, that's measure 10. E7, pinky, back. Again, pinky, back. One more time. Okay, so that's all you do there. And run in. Now if you run into a 5'2" all. That's it. Run into a 5'2" all. And then measure 12, regular bar chord on 5, index finger. Really just this A7, but it becomes a B7, C7, D7. Okay? Covered, add your pinky, or probably your pinky or your ring to get the 7. Infer, so it's dun dun. Okay, and then diamond rings. You got your high G7 again. Okay. The same G7 we did before, but you're going to be adding your pinky on at the 7. Pinky, and lose your pinky, rings, and turn the page. All pinky, those things. Then grab a couple of 5s. You can. And then what I do is I put my index finger on 6, bet your middle finger on 7, pinky on 10, life. Ring finger is now open for 8. I'm sorry, life 7. It isn't her. Oh my. That's all straight melody. Okay. And then from 18 down is going to be basically the same thing as the beginning. Could she woo? Could she coo? Could she would she coo? She coo has high G7. Anybody, slide back to C. Then you're going to go back up. Has anybody seen? One more time. Up. Has anybody seen? And it opens. My F chord. Down, 2, 3, 4. Rest. A chord. F chord. Okay. And in my notes says strum up. I don't think that's necessary. All right, so that is 5'2". I'm going to play it for you. Okay, I'm going to play it fast. Just give you a sense of where you're headed. Everything that I'm about to play is more or less exactly what's on the paper. Oops, sorry. Okay, put it over your head or whatever. But that's what's basic. I mean, I'm adding in some strumming, a little bit of fancy here and there, but more or less, note for note, exactly what is on the paper is coming out. I'm doing it here, and I tried to be as faithful to what I do to get this to you guys, so that you can go through at a third of that speed, right? Go through, get your hand shapes in all exactly where they're supposed to be, and then and take your time. And I will tell you, it makes me laugh how many times when I get ready to do this. Dun 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 dun. How many times over the years I have messed that up, and I know exactly everything I'm supposed to do. It's just one of these moments of transition where you're like, okay, you're just gonna get through this, and then you go back to the A section. And I have this tendency, my brain goes other places. Today I messed up the G7 a little bit, right? But who cares, right? It's a fun song, really, really worth your time to start slow. That's what I started with. I started with blanc, 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 F, pinky, F. Okay, then I could jazz it up a little bit, right, and try to start doing a little bit more with it. But you can do it as simple as you want. Right, you don't need to do it super fancy in the beginning. Just take your time and walk yourself through it. I have it memorized, of course. That's what makes it next level. If you want to play next level, you got to memorize. And I know that's not a good thing to have to tell people, but it's the truth. And then, it is one of those classic ukuleles. Probably was written on a ukulele, and it's really so that makes it one of the very few songs in our repertoire that's probably ours that we actually have. Um, the other thing, a lot of you guys have run into this song at your local strum along, and they typically do it in the key of C because they're not planning on it being an instrumental piece. They're just planning on you strumming and singing it. I'm not against that. It sounds fine, but it does not set up properly on the ukulele in the key of C. And so, if you've learned it in the key of C, just keep singing and strumming it that way. But when you get ready to do the instrumental version of it, you probably want to use my version. It does so many songs, and you'll notice as I'm putting out more and more music these days, so rarely does something work in the key of C as an instrumental once you get beyond the introductory stuff. It just doesn't, it's just not a great key for the ukulele. And you would think it would be since it is a C instrument, but you run out of notes at the bottom or the top when you're playing in C a lot, where F is actually a quite delightful key for the most part. F, D, G, and A are actually much better keys for the ukulele. So it's funny that this instrument tuned in C isn't maybe not its best thing. Okay, so what I know is that we are going to keep doing this, and it's going to be an opportunity for you to continue to play every day, I hope. And if you are newer, please don't think you should be playing Las Mañanitas and 5'2". That's too hard, right? You should be playing the key of C arpeggio, which is plenty doggone hard. Tomorrow we go into the key of G. We start looking at Amazing Grace, Happy Birthday, and La Cucaracha. So we get two Mexican pieces this week, which is very fun. La Cucaracha, you know how we always try to make it soft and beautiful and sweet? On La Cucaracha, we want to make it sound like a cockroach. Dun, 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 dun. And so we're going to really take advantage of this claw shape to get as much kind of this jerky sound out of the ukulele as we can, and gives us another opportunity to do that fun thing. So, all right, that's what I know. Okay, questions, comments, concerns. Otherwise, go forth and ukulele-fy the world. Evelyn, it's cool. Yeah, it is a happy, fun tune, isn't it? I remember when I first learned it. I knew of it prior to my ukulele days, but when I got a hold of it, I was like, "Oh, I like that." All right, Bridge. Oh, hey, Vic, I didn't see you come in. Melissa, welcome. Oh, thank you. All right, Uke Noob, nice. Yeah, Belinda just says, I always play in the key of C. And most people who strum and sing it play it in the key of C. Strumming works in the key of C on the ukulele. It does not necessarily, it's not particularly friendly to instrumentalists. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful day. And I will see all of you either tomorrow. In next level class, we're doing John Denver today, and we're doing Annie's song. And so It's not too hard until it's super hard. And so come check it out if you like John Denver. And otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Pull and plug.